They hurt me, found out what made me angry, then use it to your ability. Now you're trying to avoid me. You're the big problem here, a bully to many for so many years. Now shut your mouth, close your ears. Never learned your lesson, and nobody cares. That's what you're here for. It's so miserable, I know. You get shy of it. You hurt me, but call me the same as again. You know, so unforgivable, I know. You're almost shallow. You hurt me into it all over again. You're all my childhood. You hurt me into it all over again. You always made sure I was last. Never was anyone's friend in class. You always seemed angry and mad, but I know deep down you are so sad. You are so sad. Happy people don't do shit like that. So stop dragging me down. So stop dragging me down. That's what you're here for. It's to make me miserable, I know. You get shy of it. You hurt me, but call me the same as again. You know, and it's so unforgivable, I know. You won't tell me. You hurt me and do it all over again. You're all my childhood. You hurt me and do it all over again. And you know,
Close your eyes. Close your eyes.
When I see you there, and my heart goes blind. When I see you there, and my heart goes blind.
Every little thing you do, it gets me thinking. By another shot, you got me drinking. Girl, you shut me down and there's no witness. Got me in my feels, she would never listen. All the alcohol is in my liver. I guess I lost the you're the winner. Missing your touch, you were a good kisser. I was born a saint, but now I'm a sinner. Falling for you, for you, for you, for you, for you. Falling for you, for you, for you, for you. All the times with you, they just fly by. All the memories pop up on my timeline. Change your colors on me like you're tie-dye. Got me falling for you, I ain't like a skydive. you in another dimension. Can't sleep on my night's rest. Baby girl, you are my best friend, best friend. Ooh, it gets me thinking. By another shot, you got me drinking. Till you show me down and there's no witness. Got me in my feels, she would never listen. All the alcohol is in my liver. It's lost, see you on the window. Missing your touch, you want a good kiss. And rose boy sing, but now I'm a sinner. Falling, falling for you. For you. Falling, falling for you. For you. Falling, falling for you. For you. For you. For you. For you.
I got you and your vibes in my mind, I can't get them out, no matter how hard I try. I need you and your hardness to mine, yeah, I'm all about keeping it you and I. When you're here, you are chemical reactions, your strikes like lightning. Got no words, I'm just drowning in attraction. Only one way to describe it. It's electric, can you feel it? You got the only thought that takes me high. It's electric, I'm feel it. Got no better than I get lost in your eyes every time, there's no turning back. Swear I ain't got a chance. Set me caught up in you since the night on the terrace, yeah. You had me falling fast. When you're here, you are chemical reactions. You're a strike like lightning. Got no words, I'm just drowning in attraction. Only one way to describe it. It's electric, can you feel it? You got the only touch that makes me high. It's electric, Something in the sounds that you.
Okay, hello everybody, and welcome back to another Valhalla and Campbell live stream. I know we're a little behind this week. I apologize. Having some conversations, sorting some things out, some technical difficulties. But, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with some Fortnite. And tonight, we have 3 insane teams to spectate here. We have our primary team, that being the TheSixSeveners. Unfortunately, I couldn't get their streams and everything set up, so we will have them for next drop. The secondary team will be VHCH Knights. That team is composed of Cam and Trace. And finally here we have the duo of Lachlan and Colin, which is the team we are currently watching. Just against some technical difficulties, some issues, some delays on my end. I'll take full blame for it. Obviously you guys aren't welcomed by my beautiful face, and I apologize for that. But as we jump into the game here, we're gonna start off watching their game until Division 2 drops. As right now Division 1 is the only division that's dropped. Division 2 is not dropped yet, and in between matches and everything, we'll get everything sorted out for you guys. That way we can kind of get back into our regularly scheduled programming of how Fortnite runs. But for now, we're gonna watch this team of Lachlan and Colin, aka Shammy and Psychovax. Not really sure. Psycho, that's what I'm gonna call him. I don't know how to pronounce his name. And then we will switch back and forth in between him and the VHCH Knights. So as we continue to watch this game here, we see currently watching Lachlan's perspective. Unfortunately, Colin's perspective is not up, so we're just going to have to watch Lachlan's perspective for this drop. And some of those technical issues have been a little crazy this week, but that's all right. As looks like Div 2 is having some drop issues. So as they get that figured out, we will continue to watch Division 1. We'll continue to watch this team of Lachlan and Colin here. As these guys are have been pretty separated most of the time. Now, luckily, they are in shiny shafts, and it is uncontested, so definitely have time here to loot up, obviously farm mats, and do whatever they need to do to prepare themselves. Alright, looks like Div 2 should be dropping in a couple minutes, so again, we will continue to watch this team as we wait for them. And well, I guess I should man, I didn't get the intro tonight. Again, I apologize for my lack of time management. But here we are live. Welcome everybody. I feel like I didn't really get to welcome everybody. So Mulholland Camp Hill playoffs, week 1 of Fortnite duos. Very excited to see what we are going to do with this drop. So I see Lachlan here already finding the movement item of the pixel shade, I believe. I forget the name. I'm a little rusty, guys. I apologize. It's been a hectic night and day for me. I've been doing a lot, so have to forgive me a little bit for my surf cube. That was way off, but have to forgive me for my chaoticness as we are getting set up and getting some of the technical issues worked through and all that fun stuff. As Lachlan and Colin here leaving Shiny Shafts, as these guys are going to rotate, it looks like, to the gas station and potentially find a little bit of extra loot there. I hear the Chef Jack comments in chat. Don't have anything scheduled for this drop at least, but maybe we'll see if we can rotate them in next drop. See if there's enough time, if I can potentially run away and get them set up. So I hear you. You were heard. Or maybe you know, maybe we'll have to wait. Obviously depends on flexibility and everything, but maybe we'll get to see them next week if we do not get to see them next week. It looks like Colin and Lachlan are going to get in this car as they're going to drive around here. It looks like we could see the island spawning pretty close to them, actually. No, it's quite far away, about 1,500 meters, a little more. So it looks like here they're going to try and farm as much metal as they can from the car, keeping it healed. And I don't think we have a Div 2 drop yet. Unfortunately, a lot of players missing from here tonight. We are pretty lucky here and have all of our teams have their full duo except for one, except for the TheSixSeveners, which again, unfortunately, we just did not get set up in time. But all of these teams, all the other two teams, I guess I should say, man, it is. Whew. I need to lock in, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize for the rustiness. It's an interesting little proc of the surf cube there from Lachlan. I don't think it wasted any percentage of it, but interesting choice there. As it looks like we saw the base boost the base boost gauntlets there. They try to open the door, but do not have the right key for it. As it looks like actually they might be ratting here. They could have heard footsteps or potentially another car, so we don't know for sure. Maybe this is just their strategy. They're going to sit here and wait to see if they can find a team that rotates into it. Try to find an elim. Both ratting in different corners here. These guys ready to go in case a team runs down. No builds. Don't want to give away their positions, their strategy here. It looks like Division 2 is still having some drop issues, so we might get to watch most of this game and most of the VHCH nights. Not really sure what's going on with Div 2. Maybe some mismanagement there, but that's all right because we still have Fortnite to watch. We do see the car on the visual audio, so we could expect this could be the moment we see footsteps. Well, they're coming down here. Lachlan and Colin have to get ready for this engagement. Oh, Lachlan's peeking. He sees ahead. He sees some people starting to run down. Lachlan takes the first shot. Does find 60. Finds a good knock there. Lachlan finds the thirst. And it looks like they rifted out here. Could potentially chase him. And it looks like here they're just going to take that elim and get out of Dodge. As these guys are riding in style with a nice Corvette. And I don't know if that was maybe a struggle of coordination there for these two. Maybe someone felt a little lackluster on their job. It's all right. Happens to the best of us. So these guys are going to get to pick up some scraps left at Lone Wolf Lair. Both back up to 200, 100 green health and 100 blue shield. That's Lachlan swinging his pickaxe for fun. That's what he does, ladies and gentlemen. And we do see the launch pad here. Looks like they decide not to take it. Lachlan's looking up at the pretty sky. Lachlan determining where to rotate here with his team. Does make a mark here. We actually could see them rotate quick here, although we do see potentially the medallion there on the mini-map, so definitely going to have to be wary of that. Luckily, this mark not very far from them. Able to use the launch pad to get to this mark very quickly. And right in circle here at the Rocky RVs. Actually, some gunshots on the visual audio. I'm not sure where Colin's at. Oh, there he is. I'm just blind. He's right next to him. Lachlan's going to try and farm up some of this metal. Colin's going to take some of it as well. Woo indeed. Woo indeed. We continue to watch this team of Lachlan and Colin try their best to take over this lobby. Only having one kill so far, but definitely going to look for more. As we're not sure if Cam and Trace have started yet. Looks like they maybe have. Obviously hard to say for sure. We moved the mouse off the screen. That was a rookie mistake. Some technical difficulties going on right in front of my own very eyes, ladies and gentlemen. Man, we are... Sometimes we're professionals and sometimes we look like rookies, but that's all right because we have fun here. That's what's important. And looks like here Lachlan has a little bit of a dash mechanic. I'm not exactly sure what this is. We've seen this similar mechanic in previous seasons, so potentially just a bring back of that. Look at the little robot. He's big chillin'. He's having a grand old time. They're going to steal this car, start to drive away here. This is something that we see from most of our teams. They like to survey the map. They like to get an idea of where they're going. Get an idea of where that circle could be moving. Right now, these guys are on dead side of zone. Realistically, probably on dead side of the map here. They're just going to continue to pick some of the stray loot left. There is a car near them. They could potentially take this engagement if these players do decide to get out. And we do see some gunshots. Lachlan maybe retreating a little bit. Nope, just farming. Actually, it looks like they could be running for this engagement. They do see the car. Lachlan's going to cube surf all the way over there. As he does see the opposing players. He does land a shot. That's a big 33 white. We could see a push here from these two. Although it might be a third party. They have to be aware of this. Lachlan just keeping both teams under pressure here. The only problem is now this is a little bit of a third party scenario. And they do find an elim right there. Lachlan and Colin combine to find that elim. And it looks like here they could go for this loot. They are going to secure it. And so now both of these guys have movement items, so we expect to see them, maybe not quite yet, but especially later in this circle, start to make an impact here. So Lachlan's going to anchor a little bit, try to see if he can find anybody. He actually does take some shots through the bush here. Has to be careful. So he's trying to box this player and takes a huge hit there, down to 17 health. Colin's got to close the gap. I think he finally has. Luckily, Colin buying his teammate here a bunch of time is going to give him time to jug up. Colin not taking any damage here yet, though. Lachlan gets him back up to 150. Saw the shade. We're going to see that cube surf come out again. Lachlan's checking the bush. He finds someone, gets that big 78 damage through. Although gets pushed from behind here. Luckily, Colin's still right next to him. Colin may be able to buy Lachlan some time here so he can shield pop back up. Actually, no, Lachlan decides to chug as he had to cancel the big. Oh man, what a waste of a big pot, unfortunately. I believe he got like 3 from that, maybe 7. It's not a lot. Luckily, some minis there, free for the taking. We're going to see Lachlan pick those up. And cube surf around a little bit as they try just to survey where they were taking these shots from earlier. We still haven't seen them find the players that were shooting at them. Now, right next to each other yet again. Colin's still not taking a single shot of damage. Just Lachlan has been putting himself in harm's way. Luckily able to get back up to 191 full health here. There's potentially some more shots come through. Lachlan's going to build a window. They don't see anybody quite yet. Lachlan wants to flex his edits here for the stream, I guess. Maybe keep himself warm. A little bit of a high pressure situation here that these guys have found themselves in. We still see some of the gunshots on the visual audio. They're still near. Oh, they saw a player jumping out. Oh, Lachlan takes quite a bit of damage. Can he get it out? No, Lachlan goes down. It's just up to Colin now. And Lachlan gets thirsted. And Colin's got a lot of work to do. Can he get out? I don't think he's going to be able to. And no, Colin is going to fall as well. A solid 8th place from Lachlan and Colin, though, as we switch to Camden and Trace, a.k.a. the VHCH Knights. These guys still alive. Doing their best to hang on here. Since it looks like we got a lot of Chef Jack fans in the chat, it does look like him and his duo, Eli, are still alive. Obviously, it's kind of hard for me to tell from all the way up here in the booth, but I believe that they are still alive and are still cooking. So, see if we can potentially get them on, maybe for the next drop. If we have enough time. If not, I'll definitely get them featured next week for you guys. As we watch Camden and Trace, though, yeah, a little bit of a different game here we're going to see as these guys are in Division 2. And actually, it looks like Chef Jack and Eli might have just gotten eliminated from their Division 1 drop one. Obviously, we don't know exactly what happened, but maybe contesting for a victory royale there, and maybe just fell a little short, so unlucky for them. But Camden and Trace here finding a big reveal as they're going to take some shots at this player. And Trace here finding a huge couple shots. We're seeing the building. Oh, now they have to be careful as we've seen the transformation. And kind of getting crashed onto here. A big shot there from Trace as he's able to get the knock, and he's going to take the thirst. And Camden still up above as they do get the reveal. He is falling back down to the map, and at this point so far away from each other. We're going to have to try and close this distance. As Camden here currently trying to shield up. We do still see some gunshots on the visual audio. Trace also finally being able to close that gap. We see footsteps. People are right outside of the door here. And oh my gosh, how did Camden not find that knock? A bunch of damage. I believe that was 128 total as he finds the knock through the air, and Trace is there with him. And it looks like they're in a car down below. Can they disable it in time? And it looks like they do. But we see the base boost gauntlets work their magic here as they just cover so much ground. Potentially 2 vehicles coming at these guys. Pressure situation that they have put themselves into here. Trace doing a great job building himself out, trying to keep himself out of harm's way. Camden now joining him. Finds a big shot there for 50. Camden trying to get up with his teammate, trying to maintain height. Unfortunately, he falls off. He said, I don't want height. We're pushing. As they're going to crash. And they find a knock. Trace able to find the knock and the thirst. As they find some juicy loot. These guys are definitely going to take their time here. Honestly, just try to catch their breaths from since we've tuned in. Maybe it was good luck, maybe it was bad luck, I don't know, but they've been pretty much in constant action. Finally, it looks like Camden and Trace are going to have a sec here to calm down, collect themselves, and prepare for the next fight. Yes, Cam and Trace are currently our last team alive. Division 1 drop one has come to a conclusion. So we will continue to watch these guys until they do or do not win this drop. And a bunch of shots there. Cam able to find one for 21 on the actual player themselves. Finding a bunch on the car. We are seeing a car chase fight scene going on here. This isn't calling Michael Bay. I don't know what is. As Cam here tries to do his best to disable the car, has to reload one more time, and the car finally does get disabled. And unluckily, there is another car right there for them to jump into. Can they disable it in time? No. Are they going to get back in their car? No. Now they finally do. But so much of a gap has been created. But luckily, Cam and Trace are able to be put right back on the trail. And oh my gosh, so many vehicles, so many people. Cam and Trace going to decide, you know what, the kill is not worth it. We're going to stay in our car here. And a huge shot there from Cam. As Trace has two people crashing onto him. Another huge shot there from Cam as he finds it. The minigun absolutely go through, but this is just chaos. I don't even know what this is. There's so many things going on at one time. Trace still in the action. Unfortunately gets knocked as Cam got launched away. Trace gets thirsted, and now Cam has a lot to do if he wants to get out of this alive. Doing his best to survive here. Cam trying to get out of Dodge. And it looks like Division of One's new code is on the board already. So we could have back-to-back Fortnite action for you guys and no time in between drops potentially. Alrighty. As Cam doing his best here to stay alive. Still in pretty much constant combat, or at least surrounded by it. Has to be careful here. It looks like here Cam could be making a power play. No, decides not to go for the reboot card. As Cam here taking a lot of unnecessary damage from the circle. Div 1 looks like they could be dropping in about 5 minutes, so we might just have back-to-back Fortnite action for you guys. And it looks like he did get the reboot card, and could he go for the reboot here? He's going to build up with metal, and he is going to go for it. If Cam gets this reboot off, this is huge, not only for his team, but also for him as a player. And we see the serve cube start to come in. Someone's going to not allow this reboot to happen, as Cam just has to try to do his best to get out of Dodge now. Unfortunately, hits a barricade on the way out, but it looks like he is able to make it out. But driving into circle means driving into combat, as Cam has no other option here, and he has to do this. He's going to try and take high ground here, as it looks like it might be uncontested, at least to my eye. Does find a mist form here. He's going to switch that out for the base boosted gauntlets. And he's going to continue to drive around. Might actually try and get this reboot, as the car is very quickly getting low on gas. He's thinking about it, waiting for a second of free time here. Still sees some stuff on the visual audio, so doesn't want to make any too ratchet decision. And the vehicle does crash right into him. I thought he wasn't going to take any shots, but he did decide to. Now gives away his position here, and his vehicle low on gas. This could be a bad situation for Cam. As he is getting the reboot here, will he be able to get it off? Can he bring Trace back from the dead? And he does! Picks his teammate up, and away they go. Unfortunately, though, Trace not having really much of any loot. This is going to be a sticky situation for these guys to get out of. Luckily, Cam still in a pretty solid spot here, but they're going to have to secure a kill for Trace to really be able to make up any ground. As they're going to drive around this circle here as it gets very tiny, and they are all out of gas. Cam trying to buy his teammate Trace some time here to drink some minis to at least recover a little bit of health. He drinks too. But in total, Trace doesn't have 100 health. Cam honestly probably doesn't have much more. At 118. It looks like these guys might try to just fly under the radar here with the builds. As we see some materials get dropped here. Haven't seen any loot get dropped, any ammo get dropped. We do see a med mist grenade get thrown very close to them. And they do scan here. Potential engagement we could see. And we do see the Holland Campbell teammates, Brady and Parker, still alive. But a kill comes through, and now Trace is going to have a lot of loot to pick from. Luckily for these guys, they didn't have to do the heavy lifting to get that kill. We see the misform get used. I don't know what movement item Trace has, but he definitely has one, as we see him using it as well. I think it is also a misform. As we see a scan come out. Oh, it's the Surf Cube. They do find some players, but these guys very quickly get to the edge of the new circle. Everyone is going to have to rotate into them. Him and Trace doing a great job here at staying alive at this point in the late game. And unfortunately, we might see a Valhalla versus Valhalla fight here of two Camp Hill duos. as they take a bunch of damage here. And it's exactly what it is. A Campbell duo versus a Campbell duo, and they get stuck in the storm. They can't edit. And unfortunately, just like that, Cam and Trace lose to the storm. Obviously, Brady and Parker doing quite a bit of damage to them, but unfortunate way for their game to end. As it looks like here, we could see Brady and Parker take a victory royale here, and they do. Congratulations to those guys. As we are right back into Division 1 Fortnite. So, no point of wasting any time. Let's just see how our Division 1 teams are doing. Division 1 Fortnite, currently watching the primary team of the TheSixSeveners, and unfortunately this team is just a solo tonight, as Matthew has got a lot of work to do to try and clutch out for his duo, get a good placement, and ideally a good drop here, and keep their banner dreams alive in Division 1. But also in this drop, we have the team of Lachlan and Colin, a team that we will switch back and forth between to see how they are doing as well. And Matthew here looting up. We see these guys go to Pump's Power all the time. I think we've seen it every single one of these drops we've watched from them. So it doesn't really surprise me. You know, here at VHEL and Campbell, we are very much a team of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But it looks like, for those of you rooting for Eli and Chef Jack in the Twitch chat, we already have those guys finding a couple kills early in this drop too. And unfortunately, not enough time to get those guys involved in the stream tonight. So we will definitely keep an eye on them for next week. And just like that, a bunch of loot getting farmed up here. Matthew taking a sweet time, gonna pick this Pumped Power POI completely dry before he decides to do anything. And again, because I know we got people in the chat rooting for Chef Jack and Eli, it looks like they just secured another duo wipe. While Matthew loots Pumped Power dry, we're going to rotate over to Lachlan and Colin and see how those guys are doing early on this drop 1 or drop 2. Currently here, switching over, seeing what Lachlan and Colin are doing. It looks like these guys went back to shiny shafts again. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. something we see from Camp Hill so regularly. Something that their coach, Coach Kyle, really preaches into these players is about consistency. And, well, the number one key to consistency is, well, going to the same POI every time and making sure you know what loot you're going to get and what options you're going to have. That's all the tiny baby steps of consistency that are really important. And it looks like here something that I was a little misinformed of but just got an update was that not only did we find a first and a third place finish in Div 2 drop 1, but we also secured a second place finish. And unfortunately, while we were checking in on Lachlan and Colin, it looks like Matthew got eliminated. So a little unfortunate for him. Definitely not the way he wanted this drop to go. Hopefully him and his teammate, assuming he is here next week, are able to bounce back and have 2 great drops. Again, very unlucky for Matthew. He had a lot to do, and you can't always do a lot. So just going to continue to watch our team of Lachlan and Colin here until Div 2 is back up and we are able to tune back in to the VHCH Knights. As it looks like here, Lachlan and Colin could be doing a similar strat to what we saw from them last game. Ratting in one of these bunkers, I guess, if you want to call them. These domes. I'm not really sure what to call them. They are farming here a little bit. Maybe not going to rat in this one. Just going to use it for the metal and then get out. As they pick it clean. These guys don't have very far to go to circle here, so don't really need to panic too much. You see maybe a couple gunshots on the visual audio. And they are going to get out, going to take this rift. Gonna fly their way into circle above everybody's heads here. So it looks like Division 2 potentially has started. We will definitely tune into them. I'm gonna let them get through a little bit of their early game. I'm gonna continue to watch Lachlan and Colin here. They did see a car on the visual audio. We could see an engagement here for these guys. We saw a head peek on the top of that building, I believe. Colin marks it. We could see the scan here, excuse me, from Lachlan. And actually, the reverse happens. They get scanned and now decide to scan. Colin finds a good couple shots there, hits him for 47. Don't know if Lachlan did as well. And we are going to see the pom-poms come out, turn into the beast form. As it looks like here, the other team was able to get out via the car. And we're going to see the pom-poms go back into the bag. And very quickly, we're going to swap on over to Camden and Trace, a.k.a. the VHCH Knights, and see how they're doing early in their second drop. Supernova Academy finding quite a bit of loot here, actually. As we will get to see a lot of this drop here. Well, I believe Lachlan and Colin are currently in engagement. We're going to try to get back to them very quickly. We see Colin here go back into the beast form. He's dancing with the pom-poms. Going to try and pre-fire the mist form, and he falls just a little short, but does cover quite a bit of distance. Does destroy the build. He is in the build. Can he find the knock? Unfortunately, he can't. As he misforms out again, but Colin's still on his tail. Colin doing such a good job applying so much pressure onto this solo. Unfortunately, his teammates left him. He's all by his lonesome, and Colin's a beast. Colin's trying to find him. He can't find him. He sees the misform, though. And unfortunately, beasts can't go up zip lines. And just a quick shout out. Thank you for the 10 gifted subs. Holy heebie-jeebie. I'm afraid I'm going to butcher your name, but thank you, Schwammy11, and for the 10 gifted subs. I would give an update on Chef Jack and Eli, but unfortunately, I don't have an update to give, so I cannot give one. It looks like they're still alive. I've not seen anything in chat about them dying, but obviously I don't know, as we are not watching them, so I apologize. As it looks like here, Lachlan and Colin have kind of calmed down a little bit, and we are going to go back to the VHCH Knights and see how those guys are doing. Back we go. These guys continue to loot up. Not far out of Supernova Academy. Obviously, we'll keep an eye on Lachlan and Colin. And it looks like those guys do just find another knock. Unfortunately, man, what is my timing tonight? Every time I switch away from someone, they're getting kills. As the island just spawns in this drop. These guys quite a bit far away. I'm actually going to stick at Supernova Academy. Don't have to go very far for circle here, so. It looks like here they might finally get out of Supernova, start to close that distance. Oh my gosh, what a leap through the air. It's a bird, it's a plane. No, it's just Colin and Trace flying through the air. As they do find another team here. Trace finding a big 106, I believe that was. And it looks like here we're going to see shockwaves into the engagement here. Unfortunately, Trace gets stuck on a little post, but he is able to get over it. And they do get scanned, and it looks like these guys could potentially get third party as Trace goes down to 20 health very quickly, and he does get knocked. Let's switch over to Cam's perspective. Camden does his best to get out, uses a shockwave. uses a second shockwave. Will he use all three? No, he's going to find the vehicle. Again, a big thank you for the gifted subs. As Camden was able to fully get out here. And now he's going to have to play very safe if he wants to have a chance. We do see some shots on the digital audio. W gifted subs indeed. Couldn't have said that any better myself. As now some footsteps on the visual audio. Cam could be getting chased here. He's just going to use the much boost as he can to get out. And while Cam here continues to find a way to climb out of this absolute pit that they are in, we're going to go back to Lachlan and Colin and see how those guys are doing. I see a lot of support for Chef Jack and Eli in the chat, and we will make sure that that support is shown to them. Unfortunately, unable to get them on stream tonight, but we will definitely get them next week. So guys, tune back in next week to watch Eli and Chef Jack. But as we get back to the game that we are watching here, Lachlan and Colin driving into an engagement here. And it looks like their car just got hijacked. And they do find a scan. Can they disable this vehicle? Actually, they're going to get driven into. Colin takes a bunch of damage, goes down to 43. Lachlan still in an okay position here. So we're going to see some med mist come out. Gets them both back up to 150. At least. I believe they're a little over. It looks like, don't know if I saw the Chef Jack elim, but we did see the Eli elimination. So Chef Jack is still alive. No, it looks like their duo was eliminated. I apologize to all the Chef Jack and Eli fans in the chat, but unfortunately they fall. But that is okay, because their Valhalla and Camphill teammates and friends, Lachlan and Colin, still alive in this drop. Let's see how these guys continue to do. It looks like they're just going to hunker down here. And still a good amount of people left in this drop. Still 12 left, 14 counting Lachlan and Colin. So still pretty much anybody's game. And it looks like we could potentially see the surf cube go on by them. And there's some gunshots on the visual audio. And unfortunately for them, looks like these guys pretty much got max storm pull. They're going to have to make a trek across the circle here. Doing a lot of marking here, trying to keep an eye on their opponents right in front of them. Although a bunch of footsteps going on right in front of them. These guys just trying to sit and wait. Don't want to draw any attention to themselves. It looks like they did take a couple shots. Build back up very quickly, though. And away they go. Is Lachlan here? Actually, no, excuse me, Cam. Oh my gosh, excuse me, Colin doesn't have any movement. I apologize for all the butchers of the name. As it looks like Lachlan does have the base boost gauntlets. So I need to make sure they don't get separated here. Colin here takes a couple shots of damage. Not anything too crazy. Not anything that has to panic him quite yet. Do decide to rotate here. Looks like they could take the geyser. As it's just not proc yet, taking so long. They're going to take a bunch of unnecessary damage here. Colin finally gets the proc on the geyser, but takes 50 damage of health. Just a lot of damage, pretty much unnecessary damage. And now we expect to see the last med mist grenade come out here. No, they decide not to use it, at least not yet. We do see the scan. They find, I believe, 2 duos, so have to be aware. You guys are a little bit of a pinch scenario here. We do finally see some shots coming on through. And it looks like here they're going to rotate right into the damage, although Colin gets downed quick and does get thirsted. Now Lachlan by himself has a lot to do. As he takes quite a bit of damage, down to 63 health and is in storm. He's going to try to use a chug jug here for at least a little bit. And it does buy him a little bit of time. He's going to serve cube out. Can he get out? No, he's not going to be able to. And he falls to the storm. Unlucky for Lachlan and Colin. But Fortnite's not over. We still have Cam and Trace to switch to. All right, Cam and Trace actually at this point in their game in a very similar spot to Lachlan and Colin here. 19 players still alive, 17 not counting them. And Trace actually finds some shots into the bush. And they actually break the bush with the car. A bunch of damage going through. Trace unfortunately can't find the shots on the mountain. Cam finds his kill. These guys gonna regroup, relax a little bit, as it looks like a little bit of their own medicine as they get crashed into by a car here. Trying to build up Traces. Cam in combat here. Takes a lot of damage, and he's gonna get knocked. Tracy's got a lot to do. He's on 1 HP. And unfortunately, just like that, Trace is gonna fall as well. And that brings us to an end of VHEL and Camp Hill playoff Fortnite duos night 1. Wow, though, what a great night we saw from pretty much every team we got to watch. No disappointing drop. Maybe a little bit for Matthew there in drop number 2. Obviously, probably not what he wanted to see, but obviously had a lot of pressure on him, had a lot to do as he was all by his lonesome tonight, hoping that him and his teammate can kind of bounce back next week and secure their chance here for a banner. Other than that, great drops here, obviously from Div 2, our team Cam and Dre's, those guys finding third, another VHEL and Camp Hill duo finding second, and Brady and Parker, another VHEL and Camp Hill duo finding first. So very good Camp Hill battle there for Division 2. Division 1 also doing very well, as we are going to skip interviews tonight just because of some of the technical issues and all that kind of stuff that we have. Again, I will fully take blame for that one. You guys can blame me for all my my poor management skills. But with that being said, obviously we will have more Fortnite next week, but we will be back on Thursday for Valorant playoffs. Excited to see what those guys can cook up. So everybody, thank you to everybody who came out, who chatted. Thank you again for the gifted subs. And from myself, Coach Christian, and everybody here at VHEL and Camp Hill, thank you guys so much, and good night, everybody.